Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this tweet I threw out last night, and we're just going to discuss this because I simply asked, what do you need to see from Overwatch at Blizzcon? That's it. Simple question. We've had literally hundreds of responses to this. I think there's like 500 responses to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over this, and we're just going to see what you guys want, because we can sit here forever and we can talk about, I want this, I want that. I want to see Overwatch 2. I want to see an Overwatch expansion. I want to see 10 new heroes. I mean, but it's like, whatever. What do you guys want? Let's get stuck into it and let's see what you guys want, or especially what you guys want if you follow me on Twitter. Okay, so Get Combo says he wants an Overwatch series. I mean, I'd take that. I would legitimately take that if it's not something which takes away from content to the game. Because for me, like a Netflix series or an animated series or something, or like an Overwatch movie would be really cool. But I kind of want the game to play. You get what I'm saying? So stuff like that's cool. It's also, and this might be a little bit controversial, stuff like lore. Now, I do like lore, and I think Overwatch should have more lore. But again, deep down, I just want new ways to play the game. I want like new heroes, new game modes, new stuff. I don't want the same stuff year after year. Anyway, let's move on. So, yeah, you can see this guy, Netflix partnership. Maybe that's what they'll announce. Who knows? Bren says nobody wants to see Bren. Nobody wants to see Bren anywhere near BlizzCon. Especially not looking like that. I mean, that is literally the worst. So, a new hero and some lore. Okay, besides that, nothing really. The game is slowly converging to what it needs to be, maybe too slowly. Now, this is obviously... There's a discussion to be had about Overwatch. Is it actually an FPS game anymore? It's kind of an FPS MOBA, but it doesn't really know which one it wants to be, so it's kind of in the middle. If you guys play FPS games, let's say if you play Counter-Strike, when you come and play Overwatch, it's a very different game now than it used to be because of all the barriers and the ways of absorbing damage, and the way you can just pick a hero and it kind of counters. Like if you're playing Widow, I mean, this has always been the case, but if you're playing Widow, a Winston could just jump on you and make a mess of your whole existence. That's always kind of been the way with Overwatch. Problem now is if you're playing Widow, Ashe, McCree, Soldier, you've got a Sigma barrier, an Orisa barrier, a Sigma Suck, you might have a Diva, Defense Matrix, you might have a Reinhardt barrier. There's a lot of stuff in your face, and you might have a Doomfist on the enemy team who you literally can't kill before he jumps onto you and kills you, or they might have a Mei, or they might have a Reaper, or something really tanky, and that takes away from the sort of pure FPS, I guess, origin of Overwatch. But really, Overwatch has never really been a pure FPS game. So yeah, interesting stuff, but cool. Maybe a tool to customize skins. That would be cool, actually. I'd like that, some sort of way. You know what I'd like? I'd like to see a new cosmetic system where instead of just having a skin, you could put different bits on the skin. I think that'd be cool. Like maybe, I don't know, for Tracy, you could change her goggles or something. I think that'd be really cool. Blinky says me chanting on the Jumbotron, and I said no, because Chipser should have done that, but he didn't, so I had to do it like 20 minutes to go. I think I did quite well, actually, when Blizzard sent me a message over Discord and were like, hey, Sty, can you make a chant video for the UK team? We need it in 30 minutes. And I was like, took 10 minutes to sink in. I said, are you for real? Yeah. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. A reliable way for Zarya to disengage from bad matchups. I mean, Zarya is a bad matchup right now anyway, unless I guess you're playing it with Zarya, with Reinhardt. But the problem with Zarya is if you're going into an Orisa, into a Sigma, Zarya is not really any good against them. She can't really get any, well, she can't really do any damage, and that's a major problem. So Zarya, Zarya's in a weird place. But this goes to most of the heroes. Like, the balance is whack, and it's all over the place, and it's like, bleh. A miracle, says Callum. I laughed at that because, yeah, why not? He gets the 200 likes there for that. I mean, that's a legitimate point as well. Like, maybe we're just sort of hanging around too much here. Like, we're willing things to happen, and maybe things are not happening, or maybe they are, and we just don't know until we get to BlizzCon. So this is like a really, like, I feel like hand over heart that this right now, Overwatch must be its lowest population it's ever been at. It's very long in the tooth with content. Balance is not great. The meta is not great. I know we always say this about the meta, but this meta particularly, it's very easy to do. So you just pick the right heroes and just, that's kind of it. Like, people might have moaned in the past about Goats being too easy. That was never really the case, because Goats was difficult to pull off. Like, you couldn't just pick 3 tanks and 3 supports and win. You still had to use your abilities and all of that stuff. The meta we've got now, it's kind of a bit not great. So yeah. A serious competitive rework. Competitive has been under the same rules for way too long. I would like to see new things such as a map vote in the loading screen. Yeah, I'd like to see a map vote. Hero bans, I don't know, because like I don't think there's enough heroes, but a map pick, I'd love that. Like, imagine if it popped up and you had like Horizon Lunar Colony, King's Row. You'd just be like, I almost said King's Landing there. This isn't Game of Thrones. You'd be like King's Row. You would never go to Horizon. And this is the other thing as well. I do not want to play assault maps. I just hate assault maps. Like, to play on, they are so frustrating. Maybe Temple of Anubis is the only one I could kind of accept, but even then, they're so frustrating because you have to. I just don't like them. I like to watch them at the highest level of play, like at Contenders and Overwatch League, but playing in them, it just is. It puts it down on it. Like, I think this is the thing with Overwatch. It's a very good game at making you not want to play the game. It really needs to break out of that mold. Really, really needs to break out of that. Roll queue, I think, helps with that, but then roll queue and installing a crazy meta with a load of balance changes that maybe we're not the best and throwing out a new hero, it all adds up, doesn't it? It's like, blah. Okay, Overwatch 2 is a separate entity from Overwatch 1 for the story mode and such. At least one new hero, possibility of crossplay. Sounds like a bit of wild speculation there. I'll take it. A cinematic. This is the thing, right? We do need a cinematic. Where are the cinematics? Like, last one we got was the Diva cinematic, right? No, it was the Ashe cinematic from last year, BlizzCon. A year ago. What are they doing? Like, they must have a mega cinematic they've been working on. Surely. Trace is on the front of the BlizzCon key art, so surely something's got to happen. But this is the thing, like, we're sitting here and I'm like, please, surely something's got to happen. Well, nobody knows, and it's so frustrating. Chanman says free to play. That's a good argument, actually, free-to-play. The thing with free-to-play is it has a lot of issues. Like, with free-to-play comes a lot of cheaters. Now, Overwatch does have some cheaters, but it's not like it's got mega amounts of cheaters, or at least it doesn't feel like that when I play. I've come across cheaters, sure, but if you play something like PUBG or even Apex Legends, there's a lot of hackers in that game, and it can be really frustrating, especially when you see it on the kill cam, and they're just killing it. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, sure, you can report them, but they ruin your game. They just go and make a new account. All of that stuff. It's not great. But free-to-play, the main benefit of that gets people to play the game, doesn't it? You know, we're in a different age now. We're in an age where you've got free-to-play games. You've got Apex, you've got Fortnite. When you look back to Overwatch and when it launched, Overwatch was very much, I guess, the last of that type of generation of games where you're paying full price, but then it's also like this endless multiplayer game, but then it also has loot boxes in. I mean, look at Destiny. Destiny 2 is free now. Yeah, sure, you have to buy the expansions, but that's cool, right? Overwatch is weird and it doesn't do that. And I think that probably they're trying to reset it so it's more like Destiny or more like these other games where maybe it's free to play and then it's got things they want to sell you, like content packs. So free to play, I don't know, that could be an interesting thing. My predictions are a Lucio cinematic, a new map, Echo. This is the thing, like, what about, where's Echo? Where has she gone, right? We've seen her in the cinematic last year and then nothing. What about the Omnic at the end of the Storm Rising mission? Well, it's just like, here's a hero, oh, by the way, nothing. It's like, it's so frustrating. Like, the lore in Overwatch is so minimal. It's quite laughable when you think about it, especially when it's such a colourful world that could have so much stuff. Cross-platform play. Now, this actually is like a really heavily requested thing, and this has always made me a bit apprehensive because cross-platform play is fine between the consoles, but when you start inserting PC into that, you have all kinds of problems, right? Now, I know there'll be people out there who are really good on controller, and we can probably beat people on PC with keyboard and mouse, but on PC, you know, if I look at it from my perspective, I can sit there and play the game at 300 FPS at 240 Hertz. Now, that experience is so much fluid, faster, more responsive than playing the game at 60 FPS, which is what the consoles are capped to. So if you had 60 FPS against a 240 FPS player, yeah, sure, the player's still got to be able to play the game, right? But you have straight up, you've got to think of it this way, right? It's like NASCAR or Formula One. You've just got a faster car, and they're always going to be playing from behind. That's not to say you can't win if you're in the slower console-style car, but the PC is just like, ugh. But I don't think that would ever happen. But I think crossplay between Xbox and PS4, that should happen. But then what about Switch? Would you want Switch in with the other consoles? Probably not, right? Because that's capped at 30. It's even, I guess, slower. It's like, oh, it's really confusing. You can see these guys having a conversation about it. And I did reply to this, and I'm like, I know that Blizzard, I don't know if they handle the game servers. I think Nintendo do. But I do know that they do the voice comms. I think Jeff actually told me that. So the voice comms go through Blizzard. I ain't asking much, but give me another healer. Or I could just punch someone and behold healed, or poison the... Sounds like he wants a Doomfist that heals. 2 new heroes. Now, this is an Overwatch story mode, new communication features like Apex has got. See, this is the thing, right? Story mode, it has to be the most requested thing ever, and that's what everyone's expecting BlizzCon to be, like some sort of story mode expansion for Overwatch. But what's interesting here is 2 new heroes. We don't get heroes enough in Overwatch, but when we do get them, they're so disruptive to the game that it increasing the number they come out could be like a major issue. But then we've got a lot of problems with Overwatch. Anyway, when you think of the way tanks work and you look at Sigma is really fun to play. But what Sigma does to the game is prevents people playing their heroes in a very strong way. And Sigma's got a lot of options to deal with a lot of stuff. If you're firing damage into him, suddenly he starts to suck. If you're a ranged character, he throws a barrier into your face. It's obnoxious, right? And that is not great. Like, you couldn't say Overwatch has been like this for a while. Look at Doomfist. He comes in, knocks you up in the air, you can't really do anything. He kills you and he jumps away with his 10 billion shields that he's got from jumping into the enemy team. Or look at Mei. She freezes you, takes control completely away from your character. Look at Hammond. He knocks you across the map. So really, like, Overwatch has kind of always been like that. But if you were to go back and redesign from the very beginning, would you remove those things? Would you change the way barriers work? These are like fundamental ways Overwatch is designed. So maybe we do get an Overwatch 2 at BlizzCon and they go, hey, everything's totally different. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. And you can see this guy's like, this man wants a brand new game. But yeah, like, this is the thing, right? Overwatch is like 4 years old, really, and like as a live game proposition. And it's getting a bit long in the tooth, isn't it? Like, I look back and I thought to myself, how the hell have I actually made this many videos on Overwatch? Like, it is, I think I must have a mental illness, because it is crazy. And I'm not joking about mental illness, guys. I'm just saying I must have some sort of like mad addiction to making content on the game, because I've made like over 2,000 videos on Overwatch. How is that even possible? Yeah, there's a lot of news. There was a lot of stuff in the early days, loads of guides and stuff. But as time goes on, you know, I get a lot of feedback and it's like, oh, Sty, you've spoke about this before. And it's like, well, yeah, I kind of have. That's the problem when you don't have enough stuff coming out for the game, and it's kind of annoying. And then I guess this is like a new issue when you look at content creators and stuff like that. We want to cover the games that we like playing, but it becomes very difficult when you don't have like new stuff to look at. You can't just keep going over the same old stuff. And I fell into that trap a few times. I apologize for that as well, but it's just done because I enjoy the game. That's the problem. New map and lore, yeah. New game, free to play, crossplay. Okay, cool. A reason to grind. That's interesting as well, because rank doesn't matter, does it? And the competitive is really the problem with competitive in Overwatch. And this will always be the issue with it, is you're relying on your team to play together, and if they don't, then you lose. It doesn't matter if you're playing absolutely amazing. You can't really carry in Overwatch unless you're a GM and you're playing in a plat game. And even then, it'd be difficult. Like, you just can't carry, and that's a problem with the game. But hey, that comes down to working together as a team. And cross-save, cross-platform play. You can see this is actually quite a common thing. I need to see the CEO of Blizzard firing the entirety. Okay, here we go. Firing the entirety of the current Overwatch team and announcing their replacements. It's too. Oh, wow. Okay, but you see, the thing is, you can make crazy statements like that, but we don't know what they're doing. Like, they can't have been doing nothing for years. Like, we've had the same events for years. Like, the minimal cinematics, minimal stuff, like literally 3 new heroes is what we've been surviving on for years, and just balance updates on the PTR. There must be something coming. Like, this statement cannot, like, if that's true, I mean, I'm not saying it's true, but like, if that opinion of yours turns out to be true, I'll be really disappointed, but I just can't see that. Training bots to playable hero. A big rework. Overwatch becoming the game it should be. Overwatch 2, hopefully its campaign. Support for Overwatch World Cup teams. Wow. Mauga. Yeah, there's another guy. Mauga. What about Mauga? Now, Mauga, we do know that he should have been Sigma, but the kit they designed for Sigma didn't fit Mauga, because Mauga's like the big, heavy guy who runs in. He's a talent-heavy trooper, basically. Dual chain guns, blasting away. He's got a shield and all that stuff. So they just invented Sigma, and that's why Sigma just appeared out of nowhere. That's fine. Like, I don't care where the heroes come from. I think Sigma's a good hero to play, but his impact on the game... Ooh. Cross-platform again. Story mode. Just anything to give more background lore. I agree. But yeah, where's the Junker Queen? It's like, what? All this stuff that's been teased and just never actually happened. A decent balance patch. A playable game. It's defo playable already. Okay, well, yeah, Ben's corrected him. That's fine. I'd like to see an announcement of a PvE mode that we pay for. A huge update that adds this new mode, a new hero, a new map. This mode could also be updated every anniversary event. Well, this is something that we were thinking about. I was talking to Josh. You guys probably know Josh. We make videos together on the channel every now and again, and he does some of the pro over analyze. But the idea of, like, imagine if we go forward and Overwatch, you know, stays how it is. This is an expansion that we get at BlizzCon. It's PvE, but instead of like every other event, or so we've got the standard events we've got right now, but then they do extra events in between the gaps, and those are PvE mission packs which you can download. You know, kind of like maybe the Hearthstone system, you know, where you buy sort of like a dungeon crawl on Hearthstone, maybe something like that, right? And you buy a little mission pack and it gets plugged in, then it's a bit more playable. It will bring people back to the game, and I think that's what they're struggling with Overwatch. Had a massive launch, 40 million players, but then now why would you play Overwatch? Because you come back to the game and be like, well, it's kind of the same. I've checked out the new heroes. There's no new game modes. It's just like the same. So then you don't play. And I think that is the massive problem they've got. So hopefully this is what BlizzCon is going to address. MMR reset, nothing else. I'm not going to discuss MMR resets. I think we've discussed that quite a lot, but that's drastic. One, assign the game still has life from the devs. 7 lines, yeah. Well, I'll take that. Actually, last year was the best BlizzCon ever for me. Even though it was the worst for Blizzard, us knocking out the USA and getting to the semi-finals to play Korea was just insane. Classic Overwatch. Nobody wants Classic Overwatch. No, you do not want Classic Overwatch. It would be terrible. Because if you think about it, we'd be going into Classic with the knowledge we've got now, and it would be broken. It would be I mean, Bastion had a shield, right? It would be heavily broken. I'm telling you guys, it'd be bad. A Doomfist buff. Yeah, block. Lego Overwatch, the video game. I mean, it'd be cool, but like, see, this is the problem, right? You want Overwatch. Like, I got a lot of feedback. Like, you want Overwatch to be focused on. I got a ton of feedback about the Switch version. Now, Blizzard invited me over to go and look at the Switch version because they probably thought that I was going to just be like, this is terrible. I think I even said when the Switch was announced, I was like, this is probably going to be bad. Why do I want the game on Switch, right? Then it came out, it was 30 FPS. It's like, oh no, 30 FPS. Who is legitimately going to play Overwatch at 30 FPS? Like 60 is bad enough, but 30? The Switch is like an Xbox 360 in terms of power. It's not great. Thing is though, it actually is a really good experience in handheld with the gyros. In docked, I'm not going to play it in docked mode, I'm going to play on PC. But the gyro mode is really cool and it's a really fun way to play the game. But people were saying, Sty, why were they bothering with this? Why waste time on this when that's not really what we need? And imagine their argument would be it opens up new audiences. It opens up people who maybe don't play on PC or the consoles, well, on Xbox or PS4, to play on, who maybe play on Switch, can now experience Overwatch in a very unique way. And it lets us go and experience it in a different way. Whereas if I'm going from Xbox to PC, or well, from PC to Xbox, it's kind of the same game, right? There isn't really much difference there. There isn't crazy gyro controls. It's not handheld. All of these things are a bit different. But people come back and say, why are they wasting time doing this? And I guess it's a valid point. But again, we don't know how many resources they've got or what other things they're working on. We just don't know. But I get that. You know, it was kind of the same as the workshop feedback where people were like, why have they given us the workshop? They need to fix the game. And I get that. Diablo 4 skins. Deletion. Blizzard announcing a separation from Activision. That would never happen. I think those two companies are so connected now that could never happen. Overwatch 2. Is Overwatch still a thing? It must be, Steve, because you follow me on Twitter. Nice try, Steve. Long-awaited story mode with more content every 2 months. Same as WoW content updates. And if they can manage to create a new MMO out of Overwatch, that would be just awesome. Something where you can have a progression system and upgrades like the stuff we see in a workshop. See, this would be nice, I think, if we had a PvE mode that had progression, so you could gear up your character and they sort of leveled up maybe, and then you could go into more difficult versions of the, I guess, instances that we run, kind of like Destiny. I think that'd be really cool. Like maybe you had like an Overwatch level. I don't know what they call it. It's called Light, isn't it, in Destiny? What would you call it in Overwatch? I don't know. Your ultimate level? I don't know. Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? Mobile Overwatch? Yeah, probably no. Although this is probably something inevitable. And actually, I've played the Call of Duty mobile, and it's actually pretty good. If you play it on PC with an emulator, playing it on a phone, yeah, not great. I probably shouldn't shut my phone down. Not great. A ping system. I think they actually went over and discussed why a ping system wasn't in the game because everybody spammed it, and they did try it early in beta, when in closed. No, I think it was in alpha. But early in game development, they did have a ping system, but just didn't really work. Another way to consume Overwatch content other than playing it. Surely you want to play the game because surely that's the point. Anyway, oh lord, not a fully fledged mobile experience. No, I want to see for once a double hero release. Hey, that could be cool. I think that'd be cool. I think for me, I'd like to see like an entire new faction getting released. I think that'd be mega cool. You know, imagine if they push the story forward and you've got Overwatch, you've got talent, but then this new faction just appears. Like maybe just like a straight up like Omnic faction just appears out of nowhere, like from the Omniums, and it's just got like 5 new heroes just come bang out of nowhere, or maybe 6, like enough to build an entire team. It's like holy hell, that'd be cool as hell to me. And then a massive trailer comes out, shows like the story being built up, and everything starts to change. And I'd like to see as well events happening in the game, like the world changing, things happening across the maps. You know, imagine if, I know this is a Fortnite thing and it's a whatever example, but Fortnite had a crack in the sky. But like Overwatch takes place on Earth, right? Well, apart from Horizon Lunar Colony. But you could have a crack in the sky across every skybox on every map. like indicating something was happening. Maybe an asteroid was coming in, aliens or something. I don't know, right? You could go crazy with that kind of stuff. And it's kind of disappointing to me that we didn't have that with Overwatch. I know we got seasonal events and the maps did change for that, and then they all of that stuff. But Blizzard not banning a Hong Kong player. Well. Naked women. Cool. Removal of loot boxes. You know, that might happen. That might happen. Because if you remove loot boxes and then sell the items directly to the players for the in-game currency, I think most people would prefer that to a loot box. A loot box is frustrating. I mean, especially now, loot boxes, like for me, and probably for most of you guys, are kind of pointless because you just get everything in them. So it needs like a complete overhaul of that entire system. But you couldn't do that and sell the game. This is the big thing, right? You can't have like a Fortnite-style store and sell the game. If they did that, there'd be a major backlash because you are very much having your cake and eating it there. That is just like, that would be crazy. So, anything but a DPS hero plus a shitty cinematic plus cereal. You know, that cereal was like tasted very artificial. Plus Lego. Yeah, but 2018 was not a great BlizzCon. Let's be real. Need to adapt to a free-to-play model. Again, this seems to be a common theme. Cross progression, yeah, I like that idea. Goats, yeah. I mean, actually, I'd take goats over the current meta. Overwatch for mobile. Okay, no, okay. He just wants to see the drama. All right, okay. I was like, what? Seriously? Unfortunately, that's probably something that will happen in the future, or there'll be some sort of mobile game for Overwatch. But it could be good. I mean, I was surprised by the Switch version. So, role queue improvement, remove private profile, rework endorsement system. You know, this is kind of interesting, right? Because I forget there's actually an endorsement system in the game. I never use it. When I come out of the game, I never press, I think it's N on PC to bring up the thing and assign it. I just don't even use that. I'm like, whatever, I'll leave it. It's not great, the endorsement system. It doesn't really do anything. It doesn't, like, you don't strive towards getting the highest level to be like, hey, I'm a really cool guy. Like, nobody cares. And that's frustrating. Just because there's no rewards, really. Private profiles. Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, you could go down the path of like give us a proper score screen as well so we can see what's going on. But the only thing you would do with that in the game is blame people for playing bad. And then that makes it more toxic. And we all know Overwatch is probably one of the most toxic games out there in a competitive environment. Anyway, so a live feed of them manually removing Doomfist from the game. You know what? They could sell like VIP tickets to that and people would buy it. Yeah, that's that. This. We're not going to talk about this in the video, but yeah, that's an interesting situation. Anything lore-related, OMG this year, like, had nothing. True. I mean, Zen has got no lore. In fact, we did get the thing, there is going to be a book next year on Orisa lore. Yeah, with a bit of Lucio and Efi. Weird. Well, it's going to be a novel, actually, so not a short story, so that could be interesting. Good stuff. A Wonder, Halloween skin for Tracer, Overwatch 2, something to make up for the lacking Overwatch events. More content. This game has been out for too damn long, and we have seen a lot of stuff, but maybe mix up the events and release more content faster. It always feels like we're in the same meta. We're not in the same meta, but I get what this frustration is. It feels like we're playing the same thing, and we've been playing it for years and years and years and years. And that's almost like the definition of madness, when you just keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. I played some Overwatch this morning before I made this video, and the games were not great. Like, they were okay, but then I came off. I was like, I'm coming off. I don't want that feeling. I want to be playing the game like non-stop. I want to be like, oh yeah, that was a close game, let's go again. Not, oh, we lost because my team didn't have a barrier tank, or we lost because the Doomfist on the enemy team just did what he liked, or we lost because they picked Doomfist. You know, all of these things, it can get really frustrating. Lore, 3 new heroes, storyline progression, cross progression, something new and something big, Overwatch PvE, Stein and Mercy cosplay. No. Actually, that would be really funny. I would, if somebody had a Mercy cosplay, I'd do it. I'd actually do it. I'd do it. I don't care. If you've got a Mercy cosplay, DM me on Twitter or do something. Get in contact with me. Let's do it. An extremely long queue to get in. Story mode, another game within the universe. Base game is dead as ash. Yeah, this is the thing. The game is like, it's not dead, it's just stale. And that's the problem. Revert to Season 3. Cool. Able to merge your accounts, more tank support heroes. I mean, we could just go on and on and on with this. You guys can see there's literally hundreds of responses here, and the page is just going to collapse down. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. What do you guys think? What do you want to see from BlizzCon? What do I want to see? I just want to see content. I mean, people talk about Overwatch 2. They talk about an expansion. We had the Kotaku leaks for a PvE style thing. At this point, I don't care. I just want something. What I don't want is, oh, it's a new hero, it's a new map. Or what I don't want is, here's a cinematic and, like, great, the story's going to advance, but it won't be for years. Just go and play the same old Overwatch again. This is frustrating, and I don't want that. I want a reason for you guys to play the game. I know that I'm probably in the minority where I will play this game over and over again. I play this game every day. Every day I play this game. If you guys are in my Discord server, if you're not, join it, which is discord.gg/unitlost. You'll see that it'll probably say playing Overwatch underneath my name most of the time, because that's what I do. I play Overwatch. That's why I make loads of content on it. I just wish it had some more, a bit more. Guys, I've been Salos. This is Unitlost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video. Remember, you can click on the bell when you subscribe, because that will keep you alerted to when all the videos go live. And yeah, hopefully BlizzCon is huge for the game. I think it really needs it. It's at its most desperate time it's ever been at. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. Catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.